Welcome back, everybody. This is our second webinar in our overall series. This is going to be focusing on our new PowerG Plus devices and some of their features, along with some very good information from our marketing team of how we can help you and your marketing teams. So the usual housekeeping. Please find the questions box. Drop a note. Let us know where you're calling from, what kind of weather you're dealing with. Everybody's doing well out there, I hope. So just let us know where you're calling from. We have a couple polls that we're going to run right at the start, and then we're going to have a couple polls when we just before we start the marketing section of this. In addition, there are 6 handouts. I mean, we're giving you a lot of information here. 6 handouts in the handout section on our new PowerG Plus devices. So we're glad you're able to join. We're pretty excited about PowerG Plus. So I'm going to run these quick polls. And then our presenters are going to present, and I'm going to go have a nap and answer questions in the background. So we'll just run a few quick polls for you, get you all engaged and ready for this. So it's going to be these are very difficult questions. Make sure you you read them very carefully. They're very hard. So here we go. Have you ever had to paint a sensor brown or black, or had a customer request for specific colored sensors? Oh wow, holy! I wish I could share the results live as they come in, because it normally comes in a little, kind of like, 50, 90, yes, off the bat. Wow. Yeah, we're still in the 90s, 90 and 10, so it makes a lot of sense. So I just spilled coffee on my phone. So yeah, roughly about 85% of you have had to paint, either paint a sensor or had a customer request a specific color. So that's awesome. Thank you very much for your votes there. That was good to see. Somebody said something?
My screen stopped sharing, it looks like. So
no, you're good.
Probably because of the polls. Yeah, you're not in presenter view, but we'll fix it. All right, here we go. Next poll. Have you ever lost an account to another company that replaced your panel but used the existing sensors? All right. Interesting. Wow. So a good 2/3 have faced this. Some unsures, but overall, 8 out of 10 of you, roughly 7 out of 10, have had an account taken over by another company, replacing the panel, but then using those existing sensors on site. So that's awesome. Appreciate that. One more, and then we're going to hand this off. Here we go. Have you ever had a service call to replace a battery only to come back 2 weeks later to replace a battery in a different device? Oh, percent, yes. Move down a bit. But yeah, all right. So wow. Yeah, about 85% again have had this exact scenario occur. So that's great. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, go back into presenter mode now. I'm not going to steal your screen anymore, Mugs. I've never seen it do that before.
Yeah, it's weird.
All right, so I'm going to let our lovely presenters introduce themselves. I'm going to go off camera, hide in the background. Joel and I are going to answer any questions in chat. And then I'll be back when it's time for the marketing section of this. So off to you, folks.
Thanks, Neil. Well, Val, do you want to go first?
Sure, I can go first. Well, hi, everyone. If you don't know me yet, my name is Valeria Buchholtz. That's a little bit of a mouthful, so I go by Val to make it easier on everyone. I've been with JCI for 10 months now, and that's how long I've been in this industry as well. So please give me a little bit of grace as I learn all the little nuances about the industry. My portion of this is later on in the presentation, so we'll find out a little bit more about each other then.
Thanks, Val. And my name is Mark Bateman. I've been with the company now for 8 years. I came up from the Qualsys side of the business. Love working for JCI. Love working in this industry. It's a lot of fun what we do. I'm in the technical sales, technical account management for the strategic accounts. Love the company, love the innovation we have. But it's a little bit about me.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mug Jung. I've been with the company for only 8 months. So Mark and Val both have me beat, but I've been in the industry for 14 years. Been all over. Been at Bright House Charter, ADT, Sector Alarm. So been a few different places, but I'm located in Castle Rock, Colorado. I'm the senior product manager. I manage the security sensors for JCI. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started.
Hey, thanks, Muggs. And I love having, like I said, this is some newer blood. I love when the company gets new blood. We're growing. We're able to expand and get, different eyes on different solutions and issues we have. So Muggs, Val, love having you guys with the company. But real quick, just so you guys know, 2 weeks ago we started this kind of new season, and it was kind of a roadmap of, hey, what we're working on, what's happening in the future, and we just slightly teased on PowerG Plus devices and the features. That was Neil and Kevin. In 2 weeks from now, just so everybody can mark it on their calendars, we're going to be going over the 460 software. So I just wanted to throw a little thing out there. It's just part of the same series, same time, same bat channel. Go to webinar. So we'll be excited to have you guys on that one in 2 weeks, and that's going to be hosted by Jason Horton and Alex Buchanan, right, from the product team also. All right, we can jump into it, Muggs.
All right. So this is an overview slide here. You can see some of our new PowerG Plus devices. And here's an overview of PowerG. So we have a bunch of new features that are coming with PowerG Plus. We have battery level reporting. We'll get into some more detail here in a second on that. Over the air updates. We're able to now update sensors firmware over the air. So if there's an issue, if we have a new feature, it happens over the air. A truck roll is not necessary. Battery pull tabs. This is a pretty big one, I think. It's going to save a lot of time for technicians on the install, because now they pull the battery, the sensor immediately goes into pair mode, and there's no more opening the sensor, putting the battery and closing this, or putting it into pairing mode, then closing the sensor and pairing it to the panel. Dealer lockdown is another big feature. This feature is going to allow dealers to lock down the sensors to their unique dealer ID, preventing competitors from taking those sensors over. We have QR code learning. Will allow the panel or the installer app to scan the QR code on the device, and it'll automatically pair it to the panel. Two-factor authentication. This is an extra layer of security with the installation process, where you either scan the QR code or you enter the device ID in, and then the panel will prompt you, or the application will also prompt you to enter the device's PIN code, which is found on the back of the device on the sticker. One of the things we have with PowerG Plus that we're very excited about, and we'll get into a little more detail on, color options. So, so we had that first poll question that talked about having to paint sensors. You're not going to have to do that anymore. This is going to be a plastic kit that'll come. You'll pop out the PCB, put it in the colored kit, whatever the customer wants, and then you'll mount it. So that's PowerG Plus in a nutshell. We'll get into some more detail here.
So some of my favorite things about PowerG Plus, if you just go back to that one slide, if you just look at it, the first thing you notice is that same look and feel across all these new sensors of PowerG Plus. PowerG has been awesome. We love PowerG. You guys love PowerG. It's allowed us to get into so many more markets, and allowed for, panel success and really success for dealers, saving a lot of money on install time, where, you're not having to run wires and run as many scissor lifts. So it's been a really incredible option. But PowerG, since its inception, different devices have come out. And depending on when they came out, you kind of got a different maybe look and feel, where, they didn't all, maybe have the exact same type of plastic or that same family look. And that's the main first thing I like about this, is with the fresh look, is it's all that same family of look. We went out, we did our homework with you guys. We did surveys and asked you about different types of sensors, what ones look the best, what you like. And this was kind of voice of the customer as far as what we decided to go with. So this look and feel was voted on by you, And I love it. I love what our product team and the engineers were able to put together with that look and feel. And now we have these, our top sensors all coming out with just a really, clean looking sensors that, we're gonna look good up on the wall. So and look the same, like they came out of this from the same manufacturer. So, all right, Muggs.
All right. So here's just a brief overview of the 4.6 software. Alex and Jason will get into more detail next week, but one of the things that you need to have in order to support PowerG Plus is your panel has to be running 4.6 software. So until you get this software on your panel, you won't see those new features like the battery reporting, the dealer lockdown, the over-the-air updates. Anything here to add, Mark?
No, just, yeah, like I said, we're excited for that webinar in 2 weeks from now, same time, and they'll really dig deep into this 4.6 software and all these new things you're getting. With that, just so those that might be kind of new to using the IQ product, when we come out with software, you'll hear like 450, 451, 452. Well, when you're changing that third digit, that's a third digit build. That's usually bug fixes, that's improvements, little improvements. And when it's the second digit build, going from like 4.5, 4.50 up to 4.6, now we're adding a lot more features and benefits. So that's why I'm excited for Jason and Alex to be able to really jump into this with you guys next week and see all the new features and benefits that are coming to the panel, all those improvements. As far as this next slide we're showing, this is on dealer lockdown. So once again, your sensors have to be, or your panel has to be on 4.60 to get all the stuff we're talking about, to work with the new sensors, to do all this, the logic and behind the scenes, engineering work that went in, so you'll get all these features. But the first thing with dealer lockdown is, look, you're preventing takeovers. As Muggs just said, and as we did those polls earlier, the majority of us have had a customer, seen a customer, maybe we've even been somebody that we went into a home and we replaced the panel and we're able to use those existing sensors. And sometimes that just makes sense. It's what's easiest. But sometimes when you're trying to protect your base, protect all that hard work and that money you put into your customers, and you have somebody coming through town that's, hey, I'm here with your security company, we're going to upgrade your panel, and they go and upgrade that panel, and then they use all your existing sensors and they saves them tons of money and they're able to get a lower price maybe because of that. That can hurt you, and it's like, man, they just kind of stole your business. So what we've done with dealer lockdown is we've allowed you to prevent takeovers, and this is by locking these PowerG sensors to your panel with your specific dealer code. So once it's locked to your panel, it's yours, and if somebody was to come in and try to use, hey, I'm going to put a new panel in, I try to use those sensors, they're not going to learn to that new panel. They would have to have your dealer code to be able to take them over if you decide to use that option. Once again, this is something you don't have to use. This is just going to be an additional option you have with the PowerG sensors.
Yeah, and I think it's important to point out too that this is disabled by default. So once we roll out 4.6 and you update your panels, you'll have to enable this. It's not going to automatically be enabled. So if you don't want it, you don't have to use it.
Yeah. And on this next slide, you see this is an example from our panel. This is a.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no, you're good.
There we go.
But this is just an example here of, hey, your dealer code, let's say this one on the left, the original dealer code 7812, you learn it in, it works, no big deal. Now, if you go out there and you have this new replacement panel and the dealer code is 5342, when you go to learn those sensors in, it says unsupported dealer code for PowerG device, and then it has the DL code there. So until that dealer code gets changed to the original dealer code that was learned into that PowerG sensor, it's not going to work. It's locked to that earlier panel. So really cool option here. Once again, not something it's not mandatory. You have to use it going forward, but it's one of those things where if it's with your business, this is something you're concerned about, then it's something we've added to the sensors. And this is actually a lot of this stuff we're talking about is what we call voice of the customer. So over the years, we get feedback from you, and this is one of those feedback things is, hey, is there a way to lock the sensors down to the panel so I don't have to worry about, Joe Schmo trunk slammer coming through and stealing my business.
All right, so battery reporting. One of the ways you can check battery reporting is through the advanced settings. You can see the steps there above the panel. And then the alarm.com partner portal also shows the battery percentages. So right now with this first release, we're only going to make it available to the dealers in the advanced settings menu. In a future release, though, we are going to add an enhancement that will allow for customer-facing viewing of the battery levels. This is going to be a feature that is enabled by the dealer. So if you don't want the customer to see the battery levels because it may drive calls if they see the battery level go down, you can turn that off. You have the option to enable that for the customer.
And just to clear that up, Muggs, if you look at that last check mark, so when we initially release this, it's going to be non-customer facing until the next firmware release. So when we release it, this will just be something for you to use, your technicians, where you can see it on the panel or you can see it on alarm.com. And then when we come out with, future software, then you'll have the ability, if you wanted to allow your customers to see it, they can. We just want to do it right where we're not going to cause like additional unneeded service tickets because now a customer's seeing something that maybe you don't want them to. But once again, this is a really cool feature. We asked that poll question, hey, have you ever gone out to a home and, you go do service, you repair a battery or replace a battery on that front door, and then, maybe, and then, within a month, a few weeks later, hey, maybe it's the back door's dead now or somewhere else is dead. I mean, how nice is it for a technician or even from back at the office with tech support to be able to look into that home and say, wow, there's actually, these 3 sensors that are getting to that low battery point, or, maybe it's not reporting yet, but maybe in the next 6 months or so, they're going to, let's just replace them, and then maybe you also see, man, the majority of those sensors in there, all the doors or all the windows that don't get used as much, they're all at over 85% battery. There's no need to go and replace any of those or to go in and replace all the batteries. Just you can see what specific ones you would need to, and that would just save you additional service calls down the road. And so really cool stuff we have here. And once again, this is a 460 thing, and as we work with alarm.com, our awesome partner on this, we hope to make that partner portal even more important to you guys, because you can only imagine if you could see other homes in the neighborhood or whatever that are close by with low batteries. It just there's a lot you can do here to be proactive, even if it's let's say smoke alarms or something. Oh, a smoke alarm is going to be coming up low battery. I can be proactive before the customer even knows about it. Send them do a little campaign, email campaign or even a phone call campaign. You could even mail batteries, out in the mail to help them with little instructions on how to replace them. So you have a lot of options here that can just help you with these service tickets and understanding where your battery levels are at. So super excited about this. We've kind of gone over a couple things here now. We've gone over the dealer lockdown and the battery reporting. Neil and Joel, just wonder if there's any questions that have come up that are relevant to those things.
None at all. None at all. It's chat's going crazy.
Let's move on. Just joking. Okay.
Like chat's going crazy. We've answered them all. Lots of questions on how lockdown works. So we've been able to answer them. What happens if a company goes out of business? Is there a back door? There is not a back door. But a lot of good feedback, a lot of good questions. I mean, again, we'll see how many people decide to use, the device lockdown in the future. But yeah, a lot of engagement here. We've barely seen anything on battery so far. It's all been about dealer lockdown. So
Awesome. Well,
keep going.
if there's anything that comes up that's relevant for everybody, feel free to jump in and share. So
Will do.
All right. So now we're going to get to the first sensor. And, you know, as Mark had mentioned, it has that new modern look and feel. I had mentioned the colored kits earlier in the beginning of the presentation, and I'll just show you here as an example of two of the color kits. We do have the black one, which is on my desk, but since I don't have three hands, I can only show you two. But this is an example of the vanishing contact color kit. Real easy to pop out the PCB and pop it into the new kit, and then it'll give the customer that look that they want, because you know we've heard and seen that a lot of people are starting to go towards the grays and the blacks and the browns when they have door frames and window frames in their house. So you know, typical PowerG features on this sensor. It's got the signal strength LED. Now it's got the battery life reporting. One of the things that's nice about all the PowerG Plus devices that we're coming out with, the finish is a matte finish. So it's not that shiny finish that we have on the PowerG sensors. That was another bit of feedback that we received from customers, that they wanted more of a matte finish on it. You can see the rounded look on this one, and I personally, I like it. I think it looks great. Anything to add, Mark?
I just think the colored shells, it's huge.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I wish I had some like Muggs has in his hand. I've had them sent out to me twice, and you know, we've gone to trade shows or whatever, or I loaned them to you know, go to certain events. They don't come back. That's how popular they are. I lend them out to people, they disappear. So really cool. And you know, I've had lots of dealers that tell me, hey, on Fridays, you know, we go out in the warehouse, we got the spray paint out, we're spraying these shells. What's nice about these colored shells, like I said, we got brown, black, or charcoal, is they're going to come in a kit. And right now, I think we're not exactly, you know, determine how many is going to come in the kit. I've heard 10, I've heard 1, but it'll come in a kit. So you go out, you buy like, let's say it's 10 shells of specific devices you want, whether it's the 9945 or the smaller slim there, and the 9303. And then all you would have to do is just take this apart, take out the guts, put the guts in the new shells. So the color you need. So really easy to do, easy installation to switch out those shells. So I'm excited for them. You know, it's not going to have to be you know, worrying about spray painting something and worrying about like the spray paint getting messed up or fingerprints on it. Just going to come straight from the manufacturer. Same thing, a matte finish in those. That looks really good up on the wall. And then lastly, as you see here, these sensors will work both with IQ and DSC. Now, it's just to get those special features like the battery reporting, the sensor lockdown, you're going to need that 460 software or newer. So if you don't have that software, you're not going to get all those features. But these are, you know, let's say backwards compatible and do work with our other, you know, IQ and DSC products that are out there.
Here's our next sensor. It's the door window with auxiliary input. This is the other one that Mark had mentioned, the 945, that we have the colored kits for. So we only have the colored kits for the 945 and the 303, the vanishing contact. So one of the things that we added to this is a full length magnet. Helps it be more reliable. You don't have to get the magnet, you know, exactly right for it to work. Of course, we've got faster enrollment with the battery pull tab, and like Mark had mentioned for the previous sensor, IQ and DSC. Anything to add here, Mark?
Yeah, I just gonna say I do like the whole magnet thing. I do think in the past, you know, you had the shorter little magnet, and sometimes you throw that sensor up there on the wall. You know, I was a technician. I've done this before. You know, you throw that sensor up on the wall. We got the little mark here right in the middle that shows what side the read switch is on. But there's times where, you know, I put that up there and I didn't realize, man, it was supposed to be on the other side. I messed up, whatever. So just having this where it just lines up right with the sensor itself looks really good. We've had really good feedback on it. You know, you do have the option with that too, where it could either be, you know, come with the double-sided sticky tape, or it could be screwed down. So just something we're excited about. And also just talking about PowerG Plus, I don't want to get people's minds going like, well, I don't want someone to think something that it does something that it doesn't. And one thing we've been asked is, do I get farther range? And no, you don't. So with PowerG Plus, you're getting all these extra features, but as far as you're getting that great standard, which is incredible PowerG range still, you know, and you can still use, you know, your repeaters and all that kind of stuff. So, but it is faster enrollment. You do have the, you know, we made sure battery pull tabs are on all the devices. Just pull it out, learns into the panel.
So here, this is a new sensor for us. This is the I/O module. It has 2 inputs and 2 outputs, or it can be programmed to have 4 inputs. It's gonna launch later this year. Has all the same PowerG Plus features we've talked about: battery level reporting, auto enrollment, obviously a long battery life. This does not have the magnetic contact in North America. It'll only be sold as it is pictured here or shown here, and we're really excited about it because it adds a layer of functionality that we didn't have before. You can use this to open gates. You can use it for fog machines. It has a bunch of different applications. So this is, like I said, this is a new sensor for us, and we're very excited about it.
And one thing, you know, ideas, you know, how could this be used? Like you said, a gate, trigger date, a gate. You know, you got your programmable outputs. So this could be, you know, I've heard of somebody that with our let's say PowerG, I call it the sub panel or takeover module, that has programmable outputs. And I've heard of somebody in a gas station where they were like, hey, when the workers in the freezer, they wanted to know if somebody came in the store. So they actually added a strobe. So when the front door would open, that strobe would go off, letting them know, hey, somebody came in the store. Well, now you don't have to use that whole sub panel. You could just use a device like this. Front door opens, hey, programmable output, trigger that strobe, you know, something like that. So you do have more options. Joel and Neil, what kind of things could you see you could use this for, and what are you getting from the field, and is there anything you want to clear up on this device?
No, I mean, you could trigger garage doors, gates, pretty well anything with a dry contact. I mean, it could be, it's pretty flexible. Again, having the 2 ins, 2 outs, you know, by default, or 4 inputs. Like if you think of it like a mini wire to wireless module, if you had a couple of hardwired devices, you know, there's a lot of different things, but, you know, calling it, you know, I know it's the official name is the PowerG I/O module. I like to call it the PowerG PGM module. Because that's basically, you know, that was the original intent, was giving, you know, those general purpose PGMs, you know, that could be used for, you know, things that we would, you know, on a wired to wireless, you know, you use a PGM for different things. Joel, you got anything specific that you've been seeing or hearing?
The big one that I'm hearing from the field is, you know, you get a lot of custom homes where the gate is way out of Wi-Fi range, and they want to be able to control it, and this is going to give them that option.
So,
yeah. One thing, just so I don't interrupt you guys too much, one thing just for Val too, before we switch to marketing, when you guys are done this, I am going to run one more poll because we're getting a ton of questions about the colored shells and if it's going to be available on other devices mugs like we've talked about.
Yep.
So I'm going to run a poll and see kind of, I just added a poll in. I want to see what kind of, you know, people want it on motions or glass breaks or repeaters or smokes or whatever else. So, but yeah, keep going. You guys are doing awesome.
Yeah, you read my mind, Neil, so thank you.
So to clarify there, what Neil was saying is, yeah, by default, or as we launch, we're going to be launching in the door window contacts as far as the colored shells. So he's going to ask a poll if it would be useful to add it to other devices in the home also, those colored shells.
Yep. All right, so this is one I'm pretty excited about. We've got the updated indoor peer camera. So this is a motion detector with the camera. We've improved the image quality on the camera. It's now an HD image for the peek-in. You can see there 1280 by 720. The camera range has been extended, so if a person is farther away from the camera, it'll still pick them up and you'll still see them in the picture. Has the same PowerG signal strength LED. And what I like about this too is the optional pet immunity. It doesn't come by default. You have to put the piece inside of it's a lens cover to make it pet immune. But a lot of people have that because they have the animals that'll walk around when they're on home and set off motion detectors. So this is one I'm pretty excited about. A lot of good feedback from our customers. Just having the improved image quality alone, but it also looks, I think, really good, really slick, and it follows that modern look and feel with the rounded edges and the matte finish.
And this is, once again, this is like an image sensor. You know, my complaint back in the day with our this PIR camera was the image quality. You know, it was something we'd hear, man, could we get better image quality? So, dude, great to see, you know, we've improved that camera, 1280 by 720, and we allow for those peek-ins. So, you know, I have these, you know, downstairs in my basement, I have 2 of them. You know, my kids are down there playing or whatever, I can actually peek in, takes an image, I can capture what's going on down in the basement. You know, economical device that, hey, this works as not only a motion detector, but it also captures images. You know, these do very well. I know the majority of those on this call are probably in the US and Canada, but in Europe, we sell these like hotcakes.
Yep.
I don't know if they buy in Europe what kind of food is popular, but whatever food's popular, that's how this sells. It's just one of those things where it gets attached pretty much 1-to-1 on systems out there, and that's because, you know, you can kind of verify, you know, who's in the house. You know, is that a person we know? Is it recognized? It can be used with the central stations. So just a really cool, economical option, you know, where maybe somebody doesn't want a video camera in their house, is recording and all that, where it's just, hey, this will just do images. You don't have to worry about the privacy of your own home. You know, this is just that customer gets to control that, where, hey, it's going to go off in an alarm event, or if they go on the app and they request an image to be taken.
All right, piggybacking off the whole motion theme, here's the PowerG Plus motion detector. It's just a basic PIR motion detector. Again, it has optional pet immunity, which is, I think, a great feature to have. It's got the faster enrollment with the battery pull tabs, the modern look and feel, that matte finish. It's rounded. You can see it looks very similar to the indoor peer cam, just minus the camera portion.
Yep, and it's just you know, this is just an improvement. And once again, we got the dealer lockdown, we got the battery reporting, some really cool things with these PowerG devices. So, and then this next one is our glass break, and same thing. We've expanded the range, you know, that's up to 24.9 feet, 25 feet, or 7.6 meters. You know, it's fully calibrated. This also does recognize the ambient temperature. It's kind of a cool feature you get with the panel now, is you can actually see on certain sensors the actual temperature where that sensor's at. And you know, so if you look on your panel, normally on your home page of like your IQ panel, you would see active sensors, and then you have the option to, you know, if like a door's open or a window's open, you'd see it there on the home screen. Well, now you have the option to, you know, see all. That's the second option. The third option is ambient, and you can actually see the temperature of certain sensors where they're at. You know, that one's, you know, is in a room and it's actually 75 degrees or 78 degrees. You know, it's my kid's room and it shows, well, it's a little hot in there, hotter than the rest of the house. I love that we're capturing that. That's data of different sensors in different locations. And what I like about data and information like that is, in the future, it allows us to use it to make improvements for the panel, where it could be, hey, capture the data here and maybe use it with the HVAC or whatnot. So
yeah,
really
one thing I'll add too is, you know, I know I keep talking about the modern look and feel, but the glass break, when it's up on the wall, it really looks good. It blends in. It doesn't look like the traditional ugly glass breaks that a lot of manufacturers have had. They stick out when they're on the wall. This blends in, looks really good, and you really don't even notice it.
Yeah, and if you saw that from the side, I wish I had one on me. I don't know if you have one, Muggs, but it's that same smooth. Yeah, look at that from the side. Just
the front.
It's very smooth, very clean looking up on the wall.
Yep. I feel kind of like Vanna White right now. So
You look like Vanna White.
I have the hair for it to be Vanna. So all right, here's the PowerG Plus repeater. So in instances where you're in a large home, large business, and you need that little bit of extra range, here's where the repeater comes in. It has a 48-hour battery backup. It extends the range like we mentioned. It also has the tampers, the front and the back tampers, so that if the device does get tampered with, you are alerted, customers alerted, and they can fix it. Follows the same PowerG Plus features with the QR codes, battery pull tab. Again, it's another one that looks really good.
And we do get questions on this sometimes with the repeaters is, well, do I need to learn the sensor into the repeater and then it goes to the panel? How does that work? Well, that's what I love about PowerG. It's smart. It's smart enough to realize, and the repeater's smart enough to realize, hey, what makes the most sense? Is it better just to go straight to the panel? Is it better to go through the repeater? You know, what's going to get the signal there faster, stronger? You know, PowerG is an incredible technology. You know, when we look at legacy sensors, it's just a one-way communication. The sensor yells out, hey, I'm opened. Hey, I'm here. It's just able to send out signals. With PowerG, not only does it send out a signal, but then it's able to hear back from the panel. So it's a two-way communication, and that's what's nice. It makes it a much smarter sensor. You know, with the encryption and all that. And these repeaters are incredible. You can add up to 8 of them. Just so you know, you cannot repeat a repeater, so you can't cascade them. But you could have the panel, let's say, in the middle, and then kind of spider web out, and you could really get an incredible amount of range when using multiple repeaters. You know, I've seen enormous warehouses where, you know, I had a guy, he's like, hey, I was kind of new to PowerG, had this huge warehouse, offices up front. You know, I had the panel kind of in the middle there, that middle wall. And, you know, actually, he's like, I bid 4 repeaters for this job because I was so, you know, just kind of nervous, like, is it going to work? And he's like, I got the bid because I didn't have to do all the labor costs. And he went out, did the job. He said, I didn't have to use any repeaters because PowerG was so great. And what I was able to at least tell him is, so one great thing with PowerG too, though, is it has adaptable power transmission. And I said, you should probably go back to that job, add in a repeater, just so those farther sensors don't have to work as hard to get back to the panel. So that is something to think about. When you add a repeater in, if that sensor now can just use, hey, 50% of my signal strength to get to the repeater, and the repeater does the heavy lifting back to the panel, that really helps with increased battery life. So just something to think about, Mark, to do better installs. Yeah.
So Mark, I don't want to interrupt, but
interrupt.
We want to know, can this be installed in the West as well, or is it just installed in the East? We're just curious. We're getting this question in chat, right? We got a spelling mistake, folks. So it's an easy installation, not the East installation. The other thing, whoever made the comment about the ugly glass break, or our previous ugly glass break, the person who designed the person who designed the glass break is one of our dealers now, and he's in chat. So David would like to get an apology from you for calling his glass breaks ugly, and you've hurt his feelings. So
for the record, I didn't call our glass breaks ugly. I called glass breaks ugly. Historically, glass breaks have been the unattractive device in the home with security sensors. Not just, I'm not saying ours, I'm saying in general. I'm making a generalization.
It's all good. I'll apologize on your behalf, David. I'll buy you a beer next time I see you. I apologize for Muggs calling your baby ugly.
And anybody that's actually been an installer understands what Muggs is saying. I mean, you walk into a home, if I'm the one there, I'm probably like, yeah, it looks good, looks good, looks good. As soon as my wife walks in, what is that doing on the wall?
Yep.
You know,
yep.
So
no, I agree. Now I have to buy David a second beer because I agreed. So it's going to cost me money.
David,
anyway, let's keep going.
Buy you a third beer on me.
All right, there we go.
Let's move
Keep
on.
going.
All right.
So this next device looks just like our repeater, but this is actually the PowerG host. So improved transmission here. You know, you got that incredible range up to 1.125 miles or 2 kilometers for those up north. So really cool host here. As you can see, we've added support, you know, the IQ Pro, IQ Remote PowerG, IQ Hardwire PowerG, the PowerG Plus, you know, PowerG Automation. So really, really cool device here. Fully supervised, you know. Anything you want to add, Muggs?
No, I think you've covered it all. I mean, it's a great device, and you know, I'm excited that we have it in this lineup that of part of the core PowerG Plus devices that we're releasing here or launching.
All right, man. Drum roll. Now for the good stuff.
The water tile.
Water
Yes.
tile.
The water tile. So I actually have one right here. You can see it's got a great form factor. I really like it. It looks slick. At ISC West, you know, I don't manage this particular product. Our product manager, Lily Lynn, she manages it. But this was quite the talk at ISC West. I felt a little neglected, a little hurt that people weren't as excited about the vanishing contact as they were the water tile. But it's a fantastic device. It has not only does it have the water detection capabilities, it also has the low temperature alert. So if the temperature is starting to get low, it'll alert you so that you can take action so the pipes don't freeze and burst. I think that's a huge feature on there. We also have the accessory packs. So you've got that 6-foot wire with a connecting sensor and that has the probe on the end. Then we also have a 6-foot sensing cable. So the cable lays on the floor, water touches the cable, it sets off the water tile. And then of course we also have the bracket for the wall mount. Anything to add there, Mark?
Yeah, so with this device, one thing I really love about it is the audible alarm. So I had a dealer up in Jackson, Wyoming. They do huge cabins. He's like, the insurance companies require us to really, you know, take care of flood and water and all that. And he said, well, what if I go back to that house and I want to know where that sensor's at? Well, it does do an audible alarm. So if it goes off, it makes noise. But also you can go to the panel into test mode and you can actually have it enunciate. And so you can go find it if it's hidden underneath a washer or, you know, you don't know what cabinet it ended up in. But I love this device. You know, I had a couple of these shipped out to my house for testing. I had an issue years back where my washer actually, something happened inside it, and that rinse, or when the rinse cycle happened, it just kept filling up and it overflowed. And you know, I was not at my house at the time. My neighbor actually called me and said, you have water coming out of your front door. So I've had issues with floods, and I think everybody's had water damage issues, or a lot of people have. This is a great upsell device. What I love about this one, as opposed to the one we've had in the past, is it's elegant look and feel. It's so elegant. It's small. You can slide it under a dishwasher. You can put it under your, you know, washing machine or under the sink. As Muggs was mentioning, you got the different accessory packs with that cradle. It just slides right into the cradle, and then you can use those cables either if you want spot detection with the probe or that sensing cable. What I love about it is, let's say if I put it underneath my sink, under the vanity or something, I'm able to cover a much larger section. And if the water's going down, and you know, if you're trying to get that spot exactly where it gets wet, as opposed to a whole cable, that's 6 feet long. Any portion of that cable gets wet, it triggers it. So love the sensing cable. I think that's going to be the big accessory that's going to be added onto this.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. I was very excited to see that sensing cable because in all my time I haven't experienced a cable that actually senses. It's usually just that probe that kind of hangs off the wall, and you have to have the water hit that, you know, precise area where the probe's at to get the flood detection. So I think that's a huge accessory.
Major excitement on this, and like I said, with any flood, I love the IQ water valve too, where hey, that gets wet, you can trigger the water to shut off. But moving on to this.
Guys, I don't want to. I mean, you guys are rocking it, but we got to let Val present. So let's pick up the pace a little bit.
All right. All right. So real quick, just so you guys know, we're investing in life safety. We're doing a lot to innovate when it comes to life safety. First thing we want to talk about here is our new smoke heat detector. Some really cool things with early awareness is I can actually see the dirtiness of the detector along with the low battery notification. So you can see how dirty that is. Do I need to clean out the head? Things like that. So really cool there. It has chirp control, so you can actually silence it from the panel. You can go up and silence it, where it seems like these things just go up, decide to have an issue in the middle of the night. Much easier to control that chirp control. And then the other thing I love is the longer battery life. This has 2 CR123 batteries in it. This is going to get you 10-year battery life of the sensor. That's what we're looking at. So major improvement, going quicker.
And I love it that it has PowerG in it. I mean, I think that's huge. So next up, we've got the heat only detector. So I wish my parents would have had this growing up, because this is a great device for in the kitchen. My parents used to overcook things, and the smoke detector would go off quite often. So looks just exactly like the smoke and heat. Same features, same chirp control, same battery, just does heat only. All right, PowerG Plus and S-Line CO detector. So this is another new one with carbon monoxide. You can do on-demand CO testing. There's that center button that says test and hush. It has a dual purpose. You can test the CO detector at that point, or you can hush it when it starts to chirp. It's got a 10-year life, and it uses 2 AAA batteries.
Awesome. And that's the good thing about this is that 10-year life. So
yeah.
Moving on to something that we're really excited about is, hey, we've had these, I have a couple back here of these these IQ door locks, and they've been push button. I love the push button. I'm a huge fan of it, but we were always asked, hey, why don't you have one that's touch? So we are going to be releasing, end of the year, beginning of next year, the new touch locks. Great range, great form factor. You notice they're keyless, so you don't have to worry about a key or anything like that. The other nice thing we've done with these ones, if you look at that back, is we've actually shortened it. And the reason why is you get into some of these smart apartments where they have that third deadbolt. It's like a safety deadbolt, security deadbolt. And some of the locks that we've used in the past do not fit between all those bore holes. So we've kind of shortened it, allow it so it's going to fit between those. And then another huge improvement you see here is we got PowerG and Z-Wave built into it. So by default, it's PowerG, but if you get into using a panel that doesn't have PowerG, or maybe you're going to an existing account, an old account that, hey, that panel is actually a Z-Wave panel, doesn't have PowerG on it, you can go inside this, toggle it over to Z-Wave, and have it work with your Z-Wave panels. Less inventory to have to carry on the truck. And then once we come out with this, we'll work on redoing the back plate for the standard push button one, where we'll go with the smaller form factor and the option to do PowerG and Z-Wave. So really cool lock we're coming out with.
And here we've got the 3-way switch and dimmer. So this has the PowerG wireless protocol behind it, so you have that extended range. You have the multiple wiring options with 3-way and 4-way. I think these look great as well. It looks much better than some of the traditional switches that you see on the wall. Supports the over-the-air updates, which is huge. I think just mentioning earlier, no need for a truck roll if we push out an update. It's got the LED on the front to show you when the device or the switch is on, and then of course you can control that through the panel.
Hey, thanks, Muggs. So guys, that's pretty much where we're at with the new PowerG devices, PowerG Plus. Super excited. And now to wrap this up, we're bringing back Val the one and only. She's our favorite to tease you guys and share some other very important information with you.
All right, I'm going to quickly run those few polls, and then I'll pass this off to you. Here we go. Let's launch this one first. Just because, guys, seem to get people really, really excited on colored shells. So we're just going to ask quickly, which other devices would you like to see? Select all that applies. So motionless glass plates, repeaters, smoke detectors, COs. If it's something you guys want to, see in those color option shells as well, that'd be great. I am shocked. 90+% for motions, 80% for glass breaks, which I would expect mugs. Not like I didn't tell you this already.
You did.
David said that earlier. David said that earlier in the chat. He's like, it's like Neil already knew the answers to the questions. But I'm shocked. 50% want to see colored smokes, which is I'm shocked. That one's shocking me. But hey, that's great. Lots of feedback. Like 60% of the people have voted. Yeah, motions and glass breaks by far number one. I'm not surprised. I'm not even remotely surprised.
Thanks for the feedback.
Yeah, that's great. Appreciate it. All right, Val, I'm going to run your polls quickly because I don't, and then I got to make you the presenter. This is always fun when we have multiple presenters. Let's go yours. Here we go. These are very tough marketing type questions. So let's be prepared here. Very tough. Does your marketing team work with our marketing team? Pretty simple. Yes, no. We used to. I'm not sure. Wow, Val, you got some work to do. 60+% of our people on the webinar do not use our marketing department.
Take advantage of it. You're a partner, and we're here to help you guys out. It's just something we want to do. Something we just provide. No extra cost. No nothing like that. We just want to help you be better.
Wow.
Absolutely. That's why I'm here. Yeah. Nobody knows I exist. So hi.
All right, quickly. Does your marketing department even know we have a dealer portal, and do they have access to it? That's kind of important. It looks like, a lot of people, 90+% know about our dealer portal. But there is, it's gone down significantly now. It's 63%, and 29% didn't even know there was a dealer portal. So, you got to do a better job on that one, that's for sure. But that's why we're asking the questions. What can we do here? What marketing support can we provide you that would bring the most value? Videos, photography, digital marketing support, custom marketing creation, social media posts. Somebody, okay. Yeah. Wow. Lots of stuff for videos, photography, marketing support, social media posts. Like over half the people on this webinar would love to see some support for social media posts. This is great. This is great feedback. We should do this more often. Wow. This is great. All right, here we go. How big is your marketing team? 1 to 3, 4 to 6, 5 to 10, 10+. I don't know who's got 10+, but nobody's answered that one yet. Lots of 1 to 3, which makes sense. You have more than 10 people in your marketing team. Wowzers. All righty. One more, and then Val, I got to make you the presenter. Hold on. Are you interested in our dealer marketing team connecting with your marketing team to provide support? Interesting. Concerning the previous polls, these are interesting results. It's just about 60% yes and 40% with a not yet. Interesting. Well, maybe after Val shows you some stuff, you'll change your mind. I think you will. Okay, let me close that poll. And then I gotta just quickly shift this to you, Val.
Awesome. Thank you.
I got way too many clicks here.
I wish I could say I was surprised with those answers, but I'm kind of not. I had a little bit of a preview a couple of weeks ago, talking to some of our dealers at an event, and that's kind of the feedback I was getting. But since we were having a larger audience at this webinar, I figured let's ask the same questions and get a better, poll group. So let me go ahead and share my screen Now, I'm not quite sure which screen is sharing.
Your calendar.
My calendar. Okay, that is not the screen.
Yeah, we're
I want
looking at
to
your
share.
calendar. Your calendar's not nearly as busy as ours. That's disturbing.
Well,
So,
that's because I'm working on all this cool stuff. So bear with me here. Okay. So first thing I want to do is, if you have not accessed our dealer portal yet, go ahead and go to Buchholtz.com, dealers, register, or log on to be a dealer. Click on this register button right here, and here's all the information you need to fill out so that I can go ahead and give you access, and you get to see all the cool stuff that we're doing on the back end. So once you do gain access, this is what you'll see. What's really cool about your view is that you won't have all these different options. You'll see residential, commercial, builder, technical, software. So the dealer portal is not only for marketing purposes, it's for sales training as well. So please, please, please get on there for both those trainings and to get access to great marketing material. Now, because we are on the PowerG Plus, kind of topic, what I went ahead and did is I created a PowerG Plus toolkit for you. So those social media posts that you were asking for? I have a bunch of them already created. Images to go with them. So you don't even have to figure out what images go with what posts. It's already been done for you. Same thing with emails. I created 3 email templates for you guys. Just copy, paste, send them out as your own, tweak it as you wish, whatever fits best for you, but at least the groundwork has been created. And as well as images already, lifestyle images of these devices. Not all of them, because we don't have all of them available to take pictures of, but the water tile, which is the biggest hit that I've seen and people are talking about, the sensors, the glass break, the PIR cam. So everything is in here. I also created 3 different banners for you guys to use in conjunction with those emails, or if you want, just add them to your signature on your emails so that people, whenever you send out a communication, they get curious and they're like, hey, what is this PowerG Plus? Let me give them a call. Let's find out more about it. So it's truly a dual purpose when it comes to those banners. I wanted to show you what I'm talking about when I talk about social media posts and how they've been laid out for you. So I have Facebook posts, which are more geared towards residential. So you'll see, and granted, the battery, real-time battery monitoring is for you guys right now, but in the future, hopefully it's going to be available to your end user and you can make that distinction on, but we're just thinking ahead, making it available for you so that you're ready when it does come out. Talk about the different looks, how quick you guys can get in and out of there with those QR codes and the install wizard and those pull tabs. You're in and out of those houses so quick. And to be honest, I really don't want a stranger at my house for like 5 hours trying to put all these things in my walls. But, we're making it easier for them. We're trying to incorporate more lifestyle pictures with families or people interacting with our devices. We're not quite there yet, but we're trying to get those images for you because we know that your audience is an end user, and having somebody really showing how they interact with the device makes a bigger impact than just showing the device on a wall. So we're working on that. I also created LinkedIn posts for you to use for those commercial applications. Again, same kind of thing, those different colors for sensors, QR codes, battery level when we get to that point, the slew of devices that are available. And yeah, so everything is on the dealer portal available for you to use as you wish. And yeah, and I do want to say that everything that you see on the dealer portal is customizable for you. So whether it be flyers, postcards, these social media posts, blog posts, if you see something on there, you're like, you know what, I want to slap my logo on it, please reach out. I will send you the native file so your team can make those changes. And if you don't have a marketing person, I am your marketing person. So be like, hey, Val, I want this flyer. Can you stick my logo on it and my contact information? And I will work with our creative team to get that done for you. I did notice that you guys want more videos, and I'm working hard to get those. I do want to get some videos on how to change batteries on our different devices. So I'm going to work with our creative team to get those accomplished for you, so that, you know, when you do get those notifications, hey, this battery is running low, as Mark mentioned, just send them a battery or with a little bit of like an info or a QR code that goes to the video, and we can co-brand that video with your information. I mean, it's doable, and we're going to try to get that done for you sooner than later. And I try to be as quick as possible since I had little time. So the other thing that I wanted to share with you was my contact information, which I'm just going to make larger here. And I think my colleague is sharing that in the chat for you as well, so you can copy and paste it over if you don't have time to quickly do that. And I don't know if we have time for some Q&As, but here we go.
I know.
No, I don't really think we do. But the
question that's come up as Muggs up for this one is release dates. Muggs, you're the product manager. When can we expect to see these PowerG Plus devices?
So we're looking at it's a few months out still for the sensors. We are going to send out the announcements soon, and then you know, it'll be up to sales to start taking those orders. But we're still a few months from receiving the finished goods.
Well, for the record, Water Tile has already shipped to distribution. The PowerG Plus PIR cam has already been shipping as well. So, you know, as the devices are ready, they'll all start to begin. You know, those new product announcements will go out. We'll you know, rest assured we want them out as quick as you do. Lots of questions on 4.6 as far as the release date. You know, Jason and Alex will go into a little more detail. Right now, we're looking at the week of June 9th when 4.6 is available, and definitely come back in 2 weeks for that webinar. There's some pretty cool 4.6 features coming. So you guys are a little over. I mean, Muggs and Mark like talking, but it's good. It's all good. Now there is an after webinar survey that you will be prompted to complete. You know, please be critical of Muggs calling glass breaks ugly. I know David will be.
I mean,
but other than
sometimes
that,
you have to be honest, Neil. You gotta call a spade a spade.
I'm not disagreeing.
And I
again,
wasn't
I'm going to have to buy another
David's
beer.
glass break, for the record. So
Yeah,
David,
okay.
I'm sorry if I upset you or hurt your feelings. It wasn't my intention.
I'm going to have to buy him extra beers.
You
Anyway,
might as well buy him a case at this point, Neil.
I'll buy him a 2-4. You know, and for the Canadians, enjoy May 2-4 this weekend. And then for our American friends, enjoy Memorial Day next weekend, I guess it is. I hope I got that right. Other than that, we'll see you guys all in 2 weeks. And again, please come back and definitely look at the 4.6 feature. So Mark, Muggs, Val, great job. And we're going to end this webinar on a high and let hopefully everybody fill out the survey. So thanks, everyone.
Great. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. See you guys.
Bye.